I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
About again, Johnson. Sidekick. Ducking. Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful. She's hurt. Holly's in trouble. She's hurt. Holly looking to finish. He's out. Holly home.
Campbell, dummy to Matthews. Found Henry. Long ball to Prince. The chase is on for Mead. What about the pickup? Have you ever seen a try like that?
Reiner going to try to sneak it ahead. He got in. Touchdown, SC! 4-second clock is shut off. Mike D'Antoni won't call timeout and let the Raptors set up their D. The crowd on its feet here at the Air Canada Center. Lynn puts it up. Bang! Jeremy Lin from downtown, and the Knicks take the lead.
I'm experienced now, professional. Jaws been broke, been knocked down a couple times. I'm bad. Been chopping trees. I done something new for this fight. I done wrestled with an alligator. That's right. I have wrestled with an alligator. I done tussled with a whale. I done handcuffed lightning, throw thunder in jail. That's bad. Only last week, I murdered a rock, injured a stone, hospitalized a brick. I'm so mean, I make medicine sick.
Man, dude.
Bad. Fast. Last night, I cut the light off in my bedroom, hit the switch, was in the bed before the room was dark.
Incredible.
Fast.
Incredible.
And you, George Foreman, all of you chumps are gonna bow when I whoop him. All of you. I know you got him. I know you got him picked, but the man's in trouble. I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Jenny King, there she is, certainly having fun. Personal best stands at 13.39. Michelle away from the rest of the field, falling through his Wang in second, but she wins though. Jenny Kay of Australia ahead of Wang, 13.53, running into a 1.8 meter.
One and only Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Hernandez has got Redmond to aim at, and so to in lane number 4. Very quickly, and Redmond is broken down. He's on the track, kneeling down, and Derek Redmond, well, his injury problem, the jinx has struck again.
She missed a penalty kick against China in the Algarve Cup, and they lost that game.
Bam, the triangle's on. I knew all I had to do was cinch it on and it was over. I knew he wouldn't be able to get out. The only thing I was worried about was the time. Do I have enough time? I'm squeezing. Is there enough time? Are they going to fucking blow the whistle? Tap, dude, tap, tap, tap. Finally pulled his head down and he tapped. And it was over. It was over. I raised my hands, walked around the mat like I was a king. But inside, I was like, going, what the fuck just happened? I'm basically pretending here that I'm the man, but inside, I was just like, man, what the fuck just happened? Did I really fucking do that shit? Did I just come to Brazil on live Brazilian TV and tap Hoyle Gracie? Oh, shit. And here, the truth comes out. The little baby inside of me just came out. I just started bawling, crying like a little bitch. I couldn't contain myself. I've never had tears of joy before. Never knew what the hell that felt like.
Why do you insist on being called Muhammad Ali now?
That's my original name. That's a black man name. Cassius Clay was my slave name. I'm no longer a slave.
What does it mean?
Muhammad means worthy of all praises, and Ali means most high.
Harmon will probably try to squib it, and he does. Ball comes loose, and the Bears have to get out of bounds. Rogers along the sideline, another one. They're still in deep trouble at midfield. They tried to do a couple of... The ball is still loose as they get it to Rogers. They give it back now to the 30. They're down to the 20. Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go into the end zone. He's going into the end of the Bears. The Bears have won. The Bears have won.
Will France have the final say? Castagned onto Mahon. No, they won't. And it's Wilkinson again. He's flattened Untermack. And the half-time whistle goes. Untermack will wish it was the full-time whistle. Look at that. Just treated like a tackle bag.
One of the epic.
Oh, one strike. Here's the pitch. And a high fly ball to right field. Stand up and ring your bell. It's a grand slam for Josh Bell.
Goodness gracious. That is unbelievable.
Hume fumbled by Suniula. So he's decided to put a good strong kick on it. And here comes Carlin Isles showing us his speed. Toes it again. Ombachi is with him. Isles in front of the big south stand announces his presence.
Vi kan se, Bo Nielsen har fået en på sænkerdusen. Og vi har et billede af det, tror jeg. Lad os prøve at se. Det er rent skuespil, det der. Her Bo Nielsen får lige en lille ørefin.
Kilder ham lidt.
Here's Ventura, RBI single in the first. Watch out. Look at this.
They got all the info they want to tweet all afternoon.
Talk about getting tweets and text messages. Her phone's going to be buzzing.
Well, the one lady's, beverage went on either her daughter or her friend.
Coleman is a very tall man. Went in not too high. Well, Farrar got him by the hair. And surely Ryan Kitter's going to be called in here to...
Fairfield rewarded.
En el 76 pide Montaño. Uy, manotazo de Montaño contra Carrasco, que la exageró además. Qué pícaro estuvo Carrasco allí. Casi que Carrasco le llevó a Montaño a la mano. Fíjate lo que hace Carrasco. Por favor, Carrasco. Por favor, Carrasco. Pocas veces visto en el fútbol.
He dumps it off. He's looking in front, and Steve Downey
leads with the shoulder.
Yeah, and kind of
left his feet
too.
Dann der Aufreger des Spiels, die 85. Minute. Kölns Albert Streit und MSV-Coach Norbert Meyer geraten aneinander. Meyer mit der Kopfnuss gegen...
There he bites him there. You see him lift his teeth. And Holyfield in agony at that point, trying to rip free.
About 100 years ago, this big organization with many branches, they wanted to rule the world basically using Britain as a nucleus of a system, an embryo, which also was going to be joined with the US under the Anglo-American establishment, wrote about the kind of culture and the changes of culture over a 100-year period that they would actually design, implement and bring in. And H.G. Wells talked about it too. He talked about arenas. He says arenas could be put up across the world for sports, for instance. Now at that time, sports was something that children, school children were into. Adults became adults and got onto adult things. So it was unimaginable at the time that people could actually believe that there was even a need for adult sports and entertainment, never mind having arenas built across the world. But he said we can do this and foist basically a sports culture for the males. Using a tribal system, we're all tribal to an extent. That's why we even bother to vote for a tribal leader. This is well understood. That's why we're supplied with these leaders. And because the average man was to become more disengaged from his own destiny as the expert class arose, it was decided that the males would get their outlet basically, gradually becoming helpless as males through sports. Therefore they'd have a tribal team they could identify with, they could cheer them on as they were winning. In their own personal lives they were getting nowhere, they were getting disenfranchised in a sense as experts took over decision making for them in all kinds of fields. So this was psychology at use, planned before they even implemented the sports.
That's why they pay athletes these fantastic salaries. I was listening to the radio the other day. They just contracted to pay one player on one team $6 million a year. Can you believe this?
And why is that?
It's the Roman circus. What does the emperor do when the people become restive, and when the people are asking questions, and when the people don't like the policies of the emperor? He sends them to the circus. He creates a circus. He builds a giant coliseum. And he begins to throw the Christians to the lions. And he has great chariot races and football games and basketball games, all to keep the idiots preoccupied with things that don't mean anything in the scheme of the entire world, so that they don't have the time to learn what the truth is, so they don't ever get smart enough to learn how they're being manipulated, so they don't ever question the emperor. That's why they pay a player on a football team or a baseball team $1 million or $2 million or $3 million a year. It is the Roman circus. I know men who don't know anything in the world except who plays third base for the Mets. And they think that's a great accomplishment. And they meet and pat each other on the back and bond and go have cocktails and talk about what this guy that plays third base for the Mets did in last night's game. It's sad. It's really sad.
When radio came along, of course, they used that to the maximum. Sports for the men, soaps basically for the women. And then in came television, as I say, with its alpha state, its hypnotic state. And sure enough, around the 1960s, really, 50s and 60s, it took off. It really, really took off. And men became glued on Saturday nights to the sports shows. A culture industry, which is called by its own the culture industry. The Soviet Union had a department called the culture industry. Their actors and directors were called the cultural leaders. Because they would, like a computer, people are like computers, all you have to do is keep giving them new updates every so often, and you can change an entire country or a nation or a block of nations who are all getting the same upgrades at the same time along certain paths. Today we call it political correctness. Most people want to belong to their peer group. They want to be the same as everyone else when it comes to opinions. In fact, they judge their own personal sanity by bouncing ideas off their neighbors and friends who will answer back and agree on these same topics in kind. It doesn't matter if the topics or what you're given are facts or utter nonsense, as long as everyone agrees at the same time. You'll say, well, I'm sane, and your friends will all agree because they've had the same information given to them. If it's on TV and a famous face says something, then it must be true. He doesn't have to show you facts or anything else. You've been brought up with these faces. That's why they keep these guys on television into their 70s and 80s. You've grown up with this father figure who's on television every night at 6 o'clock, in your house, in your room, staring right at you, and he's a father figure. Would he tell you a lie? So you naturally never suspect him. And this same man will lead you through new topics. He'll introduce experts on the topics. They'll have a little summary at the end of every talk, and you are now left with the conclusion that's presented to you. You don't arrive at it, it's given to you, and it's good enough for you. We're programmed today perfectly, just like machines. We tie this in with the Brzezinski. Brzezinski said in 2 Ages, now this guy was way up with the NSA. He's a master geopolitician. He admits he works in 20, 50-year periods to do with geopolitics in other countries. But he said himself, the public will shortly be unable to think or reason for themselves. He was meaning by the form of information that was given to them, the type, the formulas that were in use then in the 1970s. He says, eventually they'll be unable to think or reason for themselves. And eventually, he said, they will expect the media to do all their thinking and reasoning for them. Well, that's happened today. That's why people today can't think outside of the programming from television. This is a scientific dictatorship which Bertrand Russell said, and the Huxleys said, both Aldous and Julian Huxley said they would bring in the scientifically controlled society.
Is there any room in a kind of society where these manipulations are not taking place for this type of entertainment or any type of entertainment at all?
If people understand that a game is a game, football's a game. But let me tell you something. When 150 of the most powerful men and women in the world can meet in secret in Baden-Baden, Germany, and plot the fate of billions, and nobody even cares about it. But 6 football players go to lunch together, and it's in the headlines across the country. You have a reflection of the society in which that exists. And it is a sick society that is doomed to self-destruction.
So based on that scenario, there's some truth into what these men are looking at.
Absolutely, and that's what makes me so sick, is that I'm trying to wake up a people who on a daily basis are proving the ones that I'm warning them about to be right.
Mm-hmm. Well, so that even though a minority, there are people out there that you recognize are awake to this, if they don't do something about it, they will lose that ability to be free in that way.
That's correct.
Whether they might think, well, I don't need to worry about it because I know what I know and I'm fine. It doesn't work that way. There's a connection here to everything.
That is correct. That is absolutely correct. A nation of people who are willing to send their sons and daughters that they profess that they love to a foreign country to die, and they use the excuse to themselves that they're sending them off to defend our country, and they know damn well that's a lie, are doomed.
Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Sometimes the truth can be pretty hard to swallow. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. If you're still watching this, good on you. I'm proud of you. If we want world peace, be peace. It's going to be really hard to change society, to change our communities, to change our family, to change our friends. But there is one thing that you can change. You can change yourself. If we want world peace, be peace. That's the one thing we can change, and that's the one piece of advice that I can give you here. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. That's the number one thing that you can do. I love y'all so much. I'm always here for y'all. Have a great day. Bye.